Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of this week's news. I'm gonna be your host Vikings. As usual, if you enjoy the content, please do like the video and subscribe to my channel and let all your friends know. And if you wanna read or learn more about anything that we're gonna talk about in this video, do check out the links in the description. They are great articles and I very much recommend you go and have a look at them. I have a little bit of bad news today. For the next couple of weeks I won't be posting so much content. There are gonna be some renovations going on around the house, so there's gonna be a lot of noise. I'm not really gonna be able to record. I may even be out of internet for a couple of days, so just something to keep in mind. For the next 2 weeks or so I will still try to give you guys some content to keep up, but it won't be as much as I've put on until now. Anyway, let's take a look at what news we have for today. First up, Company of Heroes 2 pre-order incentives detailed by Sega. Microsoft Creative Director doesn't get the drama around an always-on Xbox. Cross-generation development means compromise, says Witcher dev. Disney kills Star Wars 1314 and lays off LucasArts theft. Next mobile graphics will outperform Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Valve on virtual reality. It will take years, if not decades, to fully refine. Okay, let's get into it. Company of Heroes 2 pre-order incentives detailed by Sega. The pre-order bonuses for the upcoming RTS Company of Heroes 2 have been detailed by Sega and offer both single-player and multiplayer content. On the single-player side, pre-ordering will give players free access to the Theater of War mini-campaign, offering an unspecified amount of additional single-player content. Sega says this content will be made available post-release, but no date was mentioned. As for the multiplayer customers, they will get the Winter Ambush and Voronezh front skin packs for vehicle customization, alongside 2 multiplayer commanders for each army. The German forces get the Joint Operations Doctrine, which specializes in artillery, and the Offensive Spearhead Doctrine for better heavy armor and airstrikes. The Soviet Army gets the Anti-Infantry Tactics Doctrine, which provides the flamethrower tank, the conscript support tactics, allowing for reinforcements during combat, among other bonuses. The game is currently in closed beta and will be released for PC on the 25th of June. Now, granted, I haven't played Company of Heroes, guys, so I have no idea if those bonuses are any good or not, but just the same, I'm usually against pre-ordering games, and there are a couple of reasons for that. First of all, the basic concept of pre-ordering seems wrong to me. I mean, you're basically paying in advance for a product you haven't been able to get your hands on and test, a product you haven't seen in definitive footage on, most trailers before release being CGI or highly scripted. Second of all, most of the time the pre-order bonuses can actually hurt your experience, since they usually consist of overpowered items that you get right from the start, which end up making the game way easier than it needs to be. And last but not least, these bonuses do take time out of the development time, which could be better spent polishing the game up more, fixing some bugs, or adding more content for all of us, not just those that pre-order. Now, depending on the type of pre-order content, it can take a small amount of time or a high amount, but in this case, for the single player at least, that's an entire mini-campaign that you get. Now, you gotta figure that took some resources. So, there you have it, guys. I recommend you stop pre-ordering, better wait for some proper review or first look, maybe play a demo, and make an informed decision before purchasing in the future. That's my standard. Second up, Microsoft Creative Director doesn't get the drama around an always-on Xbox. Microsoft Studios Creative Director Adam Ort has argued against the drama surrounding the concept of game consoles requiring an always-on internet connection. Speaking on his personal Twitter account, Ort argued, "Sorry, I don't get the drama around having an always-on console. Every device now is always on. That's the world we live in. Hashtag deal with it." What? Doesn't get a drama? Are you kidding me? Have we learned nothing from the whole Diablo and SimCity fiascos? This is just wrong in oh so many ways. What if the internet goes out? What if you don't have an internet to begin with, which I know is super rare these days, but it does happen? Or what if you just have a shitty and unreliable internet connection? I don't know, guys, I have the feeling that the Xbox is gonna tank pretty hard. It won't allow you to play used games, it's always on, it puts more emphasis on that freaking useless Kinect. What else are they gonna hit us with? Now, Microsoft has made a statement concerning Mr. Ort's comments, saying, and I quote, "We apologize for the inappropriate comments made by an employee on Twitter yesterday. This person is not a spokesperson for Microsoft, and his personal views do not reflect the customer-centric approach we take on our products and how we would communicate directly with our loyal customers. We are very sorry if this offended anyone, however we have not made any announcements about our product roadmap and have no further comment on this matter." Well, you know what, I feel that is just too little, too late. Next. Cross-gen development means compromise, says Witcher dev. Building cross-generational games means developers must compromise, CD Projekt Red CEO Marcin Iwinski told Edge. The developer explained that these compromises may negatively impact gamers. "We've clearly said we'll be next-gen only," Iwinski said. "PC is a non-stop next-gen, that's the cool thing about it. So I think a lot of people with big franchises and massive reach plans, they'll have this dilemma, and I think there'll be a lot of compromise made in the industry that might not necessarily be good for gamers." Games like Buggy's Destiny and Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag and Watch Dogs are all slated to release on current-gen machines and future platforms, but The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is not. So there we go, guys, finally some good news. Remember what I said last week when I was talking about appealing to the PC market and fulfilling his needs? This is exactly one of the things that have got to happen, and I am happy to see the Witcher guys are smart enough to figure that out. Now hopefully more and more developers will figure this out and will finally be able to start putting the current generation consoles behind us. So I can't wait to see how this game turns out and what it's gonna look like, but I will try to keep you guys updated on the situation as it develops. Let's move. Disney kills Star Wars 1414 and lays off LucasArts staff. Lucasfilm said it will cease internal game development at LucasArts following the company's acquisition by Disney in November. The statement reads, and I quote, "After evaluating our position in the games market, we've decided to shift LucasArts from an internal development to a licensing model, minimizing the company's risks while achieving a broader portfolio of quality Star Wars games. As a result of this change, we've had layoffs across the organization." Rich for comment, a representative said that internal development on announced games like the next-gen shooter Star Wars 1414 has been ceased, but that the company was evaluating its options as regards having those games completed by an outside developer. However, Kotaku quoted an anonymous source inside the company that said such options had already been explored and Disney found no takers. So is this good or bad? Well, it's definitely bad and sad for all the people that got laid off, I can tell you that for a fact. There were some fairly talented people there, and while I'm sure most of them will find work with other studios, finding a new good job fast and easy is not a certainty anymore in today's economy. But how does that leave us, the gamers, and our much beloved franchise? Does this mean we're gonna get less games or more? Better games or just shovelware? Well, believe it or not, guys, this news won't change much on that front, since LucasArts haven't actually developed games for a long time. Yep, that's right, they've been more in an advisory and consultant role, but the games released in recent years have actually been developed by other companies. And let's be honest, most of them haven't been all that good. Now, I am sorry if that sounds harsh, but it's just the reality of things. I believe the last good game that LucasArts made themselves was Star Wars Republic Commando all the way back in 2005. Okay, so there you go, what can you do? Now, as to what this means, well, it means that from this point of view at least, the games will pretty much continue like they have been. We will still get games from our beloved IPs. I'm pretty much willing to bet that I will find a developer for Star Wars 1414 fairly soon, and that game will come out eventually. We'll still get games that are gonna be some good, some decent, and some just trash, aka shovelware. And let's not forget what I said about laid off staff. Some of them may end up right at the companies that are gonna be developing these games. In conclusion, I think we should all just stop worrying so much, take a step back, and just wait and see where this takes us. Next-gen mobile graphics will outperform the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. The next generation of mobile graphics will be able to deliver better performance than the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, according to Nvidia's SVP of Content and Technology, Tony Tomasi. The executive noted that current gaming systems are barely more powerful than mobile devices, and he believed that upcoming smartphones and tablets powered by Nvidia chipsets will finally begin to outperform traditional gaming consoles. Well now, is anyone really surprised about this? I mean, the consoles are, what, 7, 8 years old? And consider the push we've seen for mobile devices and mobile gaming in recent years. Still, it is a bit impressive to see how far we've come in that department, and we should all be quite excited to see what the future will bring us in regards to mobile devices. Valve on virtual reality. It will take years, if not decades, to fully refine. Well, this is an interesting little article, and it starts off by saying, those who've tried playing Team Fortress 2 with the Oculus Rift largely agree that it's a game changer, albeit with resolution and focus problems. Yet Valve's tech brain-in-chief, Michael Abrash, talked at GDC extensively about the challenges of developing working VR and especially AR systems, and what exactly technical advances we'll need to get a more satisfactory VR system. Though the Oculus Rift has impressed nearly everyone who's worn it, Abrash suggests that it'll take some time before we escape the technology's compromises. Abrash said, and I quote, "Many years ago I read Neil Stephenson's Snow Crash, and I realized that much of it was drawing on virtual reality, and I really wanted to be involved in making it happen," end quote, pointing out that improvements in flat panel displays, batteries, mobile CPUs and GPUs, wireless tech, miniaturized cameras, gyroscopes, accelerometers, compasses, projectors, waveguides, computer vision and tracking hardware as key technologies for modern virtual reality. And while Abrash is positive about the Oculus Rift, quoting, "When a rocket goes past you in Team Fortress 2 on the Oculus Rift, it's like God on steroids." There are still many problems it ignores or dodges. For example, and I quote, "The math for resolution and wide fields of view is brutal. If you take the best display for the next year and apply it across a 100-degree field of view, you end up with a pixel density that's less than 1/50th of a phone held at normal viewing distance. The bottom line is that, as with 3D, it will take years if not decades to fully refine VR, and AR is even harder." So, virtual reality. Well, you can't help but be excited about this, guys, honestly. It certainly looks like we're heading in the right direction. However, while this is all fine and dandy, and hopefully one day soon we'll all be gaming with an Oculus Rift kind of device on our faces, this is never really going to be enough for me, and I don't consider this true virtual reality. For me, true virtual reality has always been like in the movies, you know, where you put on a device on your head and you are suddenly right there in the game world, when the device communicates directly with your brain through certain waves or electrical signals of some kind, and not by means of a display that just really close to your eyes. Now, if that's ever gonna become a reality or not, your guess is as good as mine, but for now, you know what, hey, I'm just gonna keep dreaming about it. And that's all we have for today. I hope you've enjoyed the content, guys. Thank you for watching my video, and until next time, have a great weekend.